That, then, is the Ledo Road. But our mission does not end with the building of the road. In conjunction with it, we are building a pipeline, which will someday be the longest of its kind in the world.
Like the road, the pipeline presented incredible difficulties. From Calcutta, where port battalions broke records unloading it, the pipe was transported by every means the Army could command. It floated in river barges, traveled by flat car, rode on trucks, thumbed rides on jeeps, and finally flew in the very planes whose thirst for gas had made the pipeline a must in the first place. The American engineers who built it didn't find conditions any better than they had been for the men who built the road. It was still Burma. They had weather and disease to cope with. Those are graves in the background there. But in spite of the toughest, least developed country in the world, the pipe never failed to meet its target date of arrival at any given point. It was put down faster and farther than even the big-inch pipe back home, which was rushed through from Texas to New Jersey when the Atlantic seaboard suffered a gasoline shortage. And there were no headhunters in Texas, as there were in the Naga Hills. There was no monsoon in New Jersey. No stinking heat nor malarial jungle. No need to carry arms because the pipeline, like the road, sometimes caught up with the fighting. Through the completed artery will flow a steady transfusion into the sick body of China. Gasoline, lubricating oil, and diesel oil, one after the other, with only slight intervals in between. The artery straddles gorges, suspends itself over streams, snakes through swamps, jungle, jumps ravines, submerges under rivers, and climbs vertical cliffs. Hundreds and thousands of gas-consuming machines that were just taking up parking space are now on the move. And without any added strain on the road or the ATC, which can therefore carry much greater tonnages of the supplies and equipment needed by China. When B-29s start off to smash at Jap industry, they'll get off the ground because of the pipeline. They get up because they're being lifted up by the men who built the pipeline. The men who built it in spite of hell and high water. A very real hell and very wet high water.
The pipeline is certainly the new lifeline to our beleaguered ally. There are several things that we must remember. The Chinese are in on this. The British are in on it. The British are not only fighting alongside us, they are furnishing us with a base of operations. Without our base in India, we could do nothing. Without the railroads, the barge lines, the roads, the airfield, and all the other facilities put at our disposal, we'd be sunk. Without those North Burma Chinese troops who have confounded their critics by brilliant performance in the field, we could never have started. This is not a one-party show. It's a performance by an allied team. So that's why we are in Burma and in India. We are here to force the supplies and equipment needed over the Himalayas to enable the 14th Air Force in China to make a positive contribution to the war in the Pacific. Your role here is just as important as if you were in Saipan or the Philippines. It is all tied into our combined effort to finish off Japan. Some of you men have indicated in your questionnaires that you think you are here for other reasons, reasons you don't like. You may be sure you are here for one purpose only, not to fight China's war, not to fight Great Britain's war, but to fight our common war against our common enemy. We are all after Japan, and together we can get it done more quickly than we can separately. And the sooner we get it over, the sooner we'll all go home.